Hi, so in this video, we're going to be continuing what we started in class about congruent triangles. My next theorem is the angle-side-angle congruency theorem. And now it says if two angles and an included side, remember in class that we said that we need at least one side to be congruent. So if two angles and an included side, so that means that is the side that is between those two congruent sides of one triangles are congruent respectively to two angles and include the side of the second triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. So let's see this information here. Remember that we cannot add anything that we cannot prove or justify. So on this triangle, I know that I have that this angle is congruent to that one. I have that this one is congruent to that one on the right. And we also know that this side is congruent to itself by reflexive property. So that means that I have that information where I have angle, side, angle. Again, on the other triangle, angle, side, angle. That side has to be between the two sides that are congruent. So this triangle, we can prove it by angle, side, angle. Okay. Let's see number two. So again, I know that this side is congruent to itself. Now we have two sides that are congruent on this triangle, and I have the angle that is between those two sides. So that means that this one, we can prove that they're congruent by side, angle, side. Let's see number three. So number three, again, we have that we know and we can justify here that this angle is congruent to that one by vertical angles, right? Those two angles are congruent because they are vertical angles. So that means that, again, I'm going to follow that order here. I get angle, side, angle. So that side, again, is between the pair of angles that are congruent. So here, angle, side, angle. So that means that this is congruent by angle, side, angle. Number four. So number four here, we don't have information of any angles, but we had to have information that this side is congruent to that one, that the right one is congruent to the right one, and the base is congruent to the base. So that means that we can prove that they are congruent by side, side, side. Let's see the next one. So this one again, angle, side, congruency theorem states that if two angles and a side, and again, here you can see that again, we include a side. Right? So we need a side every single time. So if two angles and a side opposite of one of them, so opposite of the two, so it's not the one that is between the angles, are congruent. Then two angles and the corresponding side of the other, respectively, then the triangles are congruent. Let's see here, number five. Again, we know that this angle is congruent to that one. And now we have that this side is congruent, that is opposite to this one that has just one little arc, right? So it's opposite to that angle, right? So that means that those two triangles are congruent by angle, angle, side. So again, angle, angle, side. So by angle, angle, side. Let's see number six. So number six, again, I can prove that this angle is congruent to that one. Now I have two sides, so that means that I got side, angle, side, and have side, angle, side. So right here, by side, angle, side, we can prove that those two triangles are congruent. Let's see number seven. So number seven, again, we know that this by reflective property is congruent to itself. So now we have all three sides of one triangle are congruent to the other one. So by side, side, side. Now let's see eight. Again, I know that this angle or this side is congruent to itself. And now we have angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. And I'm going to show you another thing here, right? On this one, right, there's a theorem that says that if two angles of one triangle are congruent to the two angles of another triangle, that means that also the other angle is congruent, right? Because we know that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180. So if this is congruent to that one and this is congruent to that one, that means that these two have to be congruent so we can complete that 180. So this one, we can also prove it by using angle side angle if I justify that this is the same. Now, let's see the difference between angle side and angle side angle. So again, angle side angle, I'm going to have angle side angle. So my side is between the two angles. Right? I'm going to erase this for now so I can show you what's the difference with angle side. So now the difference with angle side is that the side is not between the two congruent angles. So this one again, angle side here, right? Angle side. The side that is congruent is not included between the two pairs of angles that are congruent. This is the next one, right? The last one, and this is the last theorem that we're going to use, is that two right triangles are congruent if the hypotenuse and the leg of one are congruent to the hypotenuse and the leg of the other one. Important key here is that they have to be right triangles. So to use hypotenuse leg, we always have to have right triangles, but not every right triangles that we encounter is going to be proven by hypotenuse. Like we need the hypotenuse, we need the leg. Let's review really quickly what's the difference, right? My hypotenuse of a right triangle is always the side that is opposite to the right angle. So again, my hypotenuse is the side that is opposite to the right angle. The two other sides of the triangle that form the right angle are called the legs. So again, hypotenuse opposite to the right angle, hypotenuse opposite to the right angle. So I get that this side, this hypotenuse is congruent to that hypotenuse, and I have one leg congruent to the other one. So that means that we can prove that those triangles are congruent by hypotenuse leg. Okay. Let's see number 10. Number 10, I know that this side is congruent to the left of this triangle, and I know that this side on the right of this triangle is congruent to that one. But I don't have any other information. I don't know that this side is congruent to that one, and I don't have information of any angle. So here we don't have enough information. Okay. Let's see the next one. Again, this one I have that this side is congruent to this one on the left, and that this side here is congruent to this one on the right. We also know that this side is congruent to itself. So now we have side, side, side to prove that the triangles are congruent. So number 12, again, we know by reflective property that the side is congruent to itself. So again, we have a right triangle because this is a right angle. We have the hypotenuse. Again, not every time that we have right triangles is going to be by hypotenuse leg. But in this case, again, we have hypotenuse of each triangle is congruent, and then we have one leg of each one that is the one that they share. So that means that those two triangles are congruent by hypotenuse leg. Let's see number 13. Again, we can prove by vertical angles that those two angles are congruent. So that means that I have angle, side angle, two angle, side angle. So angle, side angle. And we can prove that those two triangles are congruent. Let's see 14. So 14, again, I know that this side is congruent by reflective property. So we get angle, angle, side. So we have angle, angle, side. Now look at the difference here between 14 and 13, right? On this case, my angle is between the two angles that are congruent. So that's why it's angle, side, angle. On this one, the side that is congruent is opposite to one of those two angles. It's not between the two sides, right? So that means that this is angle, angle, side. Okay. Number 15, I get that this side is congruent to the right one here, and then we have this side is congruent to the left one, and we have that angle that is between them. That's important. That is the angle that is included, that is between the two sides. So that means that this is side, angle, side. If we have any other angle, we cannot prove. We don't have enough information to prove it. It has to be only the one that is between the two. number 16. So again, look at the side. The left sides are congruent, the bases are congruent, and then that angle that is between them are congruent. So that means that this is side angle side. And that's it for this lesson. May the fourth be with you.